for the
Back off, he's only
Boxing Day special. Why? You should or should not be buying insurance write-off. So morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, gents. Good morning, listeners. Welcome to Drive Time. This morning, Boxing Day special. Dave, are you here with us? Michael?
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, I can't hear Dave.
No, I just had a little sign flashed up said Dave not available.
All right. So yeah, we are live on our Facebook now. Anyway, so we're gonna wait until the day we're gonna pop us drop in, and, unless the Dave is flanking the show.
Hey!
Yeah, hey.
For you. How's that?
That I was thinking you're flanking the show this morning.
Well, I'm still blooming. I can't move. I don't know about you two, but I've eaten that much. I'm surprised I can even move my mouth at the moment. I've got cramp in the jaw.
Do you still got a turkey in your mouth? Or
Well,
the
no.
roast?
I don't know what it is about Christmas, but it's the only time where one day you don't stop eating, do you? Christmas Day, it's just you're ripping paper apart, and then the next thing is you're stuffing food in your face.
Yeah.
Not
So-
a good look.
Did you guys had a great Christmas? Christmas Eve?
Yeah, well, I was all right. What about you, Michael? How did you get on?
Yeah, fine. Yes, good, peaceful. How I like it, after a busy year.
Very good. Did you have a cracker to pull?
A few.
The French don't know what a cracker is. You give them a cracker, they look at you, think it's a bloody landmine. You're like, huh? What's that?
Now they think that's probably some sort of sweet, you have to open it and there's a candy in it.
Oh, tell them. Well, so I told the neighbour, I said, you pull that and you get a great prize. They go, oh, great. So when they pulled it, the big bang goes off and they scared themselves to death. They only said something else then. But they scared themselves to death. And then they open it up and go, what's the prize? And then
A crack!
a little thing in there. And then I was like, well, it's actually a memento. And what it means is you've won a 2-week holiday in Syria backpacking. And they go, oh my God.
That's a really nice holiday, I would say.
Oh, it's quality. Keep running, you don't walk, you keep moving.
Yeah. Then you get arrested.
You never put weight on over there, I tell you. You burn the calories off like never before.
Oh yeah.
See the foot before coming at you with a rocket launcher on the back of it.
It's called post-Christmas camp.
Well, that's another thing. That's what I was going to say to you, right, Michael? Have you ever had to go out to Syria to do a vehicle check on an ISIS vehicle?
No.
This is Boxing Day special, right?
Special delivery. Excuse me, lads, can you take the masks off? I can't see your face while I'm trying to sort this out. I know there's smoke coming out of the exhaust, but you're taking it a bit far now, aren't you?
And stop telling you are John, yeah?
Oh dear. So anyway, what we on about today? What's the topic of the show?
So yeah, it's Boxing Day. I think everyone is already queuing somewhere by the Selfridges or Harrods or wherever the
They're
deals
all
are.
trying to get there, sat in traffic, that's what it is.
Yeah, somewhere in France, heading to some great deals. If you got this sort of things in France where everyone is buying things like crazy, or queuing up, sleeping next to the Apple store. So yeah, today, yeah.
They get New Year in France, but other countries in other places, for New Year they have some great celebrations. France, they've only just found out what fireworks do. They're so backward over it, seriously.
I know. It takes the time to learn things, and it's good at least they found something. The joy.
Some nutter, last year it was, Christmas Eve was letting fireworks off at 3 o'clock in the morning. What that was all about, I've no idea. I think they were trying to direct Father Christmas to the right house. But it was like setting off distress flares. I mean, these things were going off in the middle of the night, and I'm like, what the hell's that going off? And it woke me up.
Nah, I think it's just the Father Christmas was too late for the gent, and when he met him was too excited.
Horrendous. So anyway, over to you two boys. What we're going to waffle on about then?
Yeah, today's special is whether you should be buying or you should not be buying insurance write-off. And if people wondering what is insurance write-off, it's just a jargon used in the industry, right? It's basically is your car sustained any damages, or it's unsafe to go back on the road, or is it still safe to drive but it is beyond economical repair. So that is what is classified as an insurance write-off. And normally, obviously, in UK, you gents might know, it's called category C or D, and now the DVLA changed the terminology. Don't know really the reason why, maybe because of the Brexit, but it's now category S and N. So it's basically structural damage, and N means S for sugar means it's a structural damage for the vehicle. On N means non-structural damage, right? Not really a rocket science, right?
You have to be worried then. Michael will know what I'm on about, but you had me worried then, lad.
Can I just dive in there?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, definitely. Please do.
It was, if I just sort of explain to the listeners, originally the categories were A, B, C and D. A were total destruction, a vehicle had to be totally destroyed. B, a vehicle could be broken for spares. C was when the repair cost exceeded the market value of the vehicle. And D was when the market value, the cost of repairs did not exceed the market value. So they decided to do it, to use it as a total loss on various other reasons. The problem with that was it never told the people, made them aware of the seriousness of the damage. Because a D, which was the best one to buy, could have structural damage.
Okay.
Affecting chassis members and things like that, whereas C could be uneconomical, but it could be uneconomical because someone has stolen the complete interior, and the cost of replacing the interior was far more than the vehicle's value. So it didn't give a fair view on the the condition of the vehicle when it was actually given that category. So they, in September 2017, the ABI and the LMA brought out a code of practice which changed the regulations. A was still total destruction, B was spares, but then they did the N, which is already said for non-structural, and S for structural. And when deciding it was a structural type of damage, they specified what areas of the car, if they were damaged, had got the category. If other areas were damaged, say for a roof, if a front chassis member was damaged or front cross member, that was structural. If it was a roof panel, it wasn't. So that's why they brought it out and changed it, just to sort of more clarify of the seriousness of the damage.
All right, that's quite interesting. Regarding the Cat N, right, which is non-structural, so that means if the roof panel is slightly damaged, that will be classified as a non-structural damage.
Well, yes. If it was, yes. I mean, that was just an example that they consider that for some unknown reason as non-structural. Yes. So yes, you could, a roof could want replacing, but they would consider it as non-structual.
So that was before.
No, now.
That's now. Okay.
That's now. Yeah. There's about, I mean, on their code of practice, I think there's about 14 items that they list as being designated as structural areas.
All right. I think that's quite good to know, so for people to sort of to understand the differences between Cat S and Cat N, and if they want to see that in a detail, then they can look up that in a code of practice.
Yeah.
Where they can actually, what is the site where they can actually see that with the website?
Well, I hope. I mean, if they just put in ABI Pro code of practice.
What does it stand ABI for?
Association of British Insurers. And the LMA was the other, the Lloyd's groups, the Lloyd's Monetary Association, yeah.
All right. That's a exactly for people for Boxing Day, right? When they're feeling a bit might be sober or just don't know what's going on here on the radio on the drive time. We're having a hard discussion, right, about whether you should be buying a insurance write-off with few categories or not. So I believe in different countries that's these classifications slightly different, or they might not even be available, and they not might hold some sort of records. But I mean, in the UK and probably in Germany, I'm not sure in France. Dave, have you heard anything about that in France?
I haven't, to be honest, no. Because over here, I mean, what I tend to do is, I remember when we were looking for vehicles for the radio station for presenters to have the sponsorship put on the cars, and when all the cars over here, they've all got front end shunts because they all drive so close up the old tailgate. So all the write-offs when you go into a garage in the workshops at the back of the garage where they've either been all the cars are either being taken away or waiting for a necessity to turn up. All of them are being, the front of them are wrecked. None of them, the back of them are touched. It's just the front of them because they all drive so close. And what I was trying to do, I was looking in Auto Trade and some other car sites actually to some of the near write-offs where people are saying you can buy these cars for parts, but some of them they weren't that bad. When you look at the actual state, the good quality cars are virtually new, but they've had a whack at the front or something like that, and then you think, well, is it crabbing? Is it doing, what's it doing without having to go and see the car? What's the state of the car? And we ended up getting two BMW 318s, sport versions from the UK, which were absolutely bang on, but I'm still looking for vehicles for the presenters that we can obviously use as, well, the mobile billboards at the end of the day for advertising. But over here in France, you don't see anything like that. I mean, it's, they take it in someone's shed, repair the thing and put it back out on the road again.
Michael, what do you think there? You have to love the French drivers, right? Like, same probably in Italy as well. It's just... they're great drivers.
You can hear a welder's lamp being lit up, you hear... and you go past someone's head and think, geez, what's that in the back there?
It's cat N, then it turns out in the cat N. I think probably, do you know why? Probably I haven't actually looked at it. I'm not sure whether Michael knows about French. Do they have any categories, the insurance write-offs? Do they listing similarly like in UK? But we could kind of call it, yeah.
Sorry, I've no idea. But I just want to step in when you're sort of running down the French drivers. What I absolutely love about them is their motorway discipline. They pull out, they get straight back in. They do not hog the lanes like us.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what, mate? You know why? They don't know what the hell the motorway is. They stay in one lane and all of a sudden they go in another to overtake me. Bloody hell, something's going to come towards me. They don't realise there's another two lanes on the other side because they're absolutely scared to death. And they go like the clappers. They'll get in the outside lane, they'll do 80 and they'll fly past you and it'll say 130. The first time I got on a French motorway, I'm thinking, God, you're allowed to do 130 on it. So I was doing 130, not realising it was kilometres an hour. Yeah, I was nearly at the point of taking off. I was going through the safety procedure with duty free in the back when I was going along the first time. But anyway, then this guy's in front of... Well, I was on the motorway a few days ago, going to Nantes, and there's nothing on the motorway. You never hit a traffic jam over here. I mean...
Yes, because you have to pay the toll charges all the time.
Yeah, well, it's €7. I mean, for where
for every piece of 10 kilometers, €10, €10, and then you have to come back. And Bobby, the French is tight, and they just...
No, you play your cards right. If you're going to see a woman, you don't have to come back, do you? You just go there. You just go and hope you get your locks in, and then come back a couple of days later when you might have had a paper round and a milk round. Make a few quid and come back again. That's the idea. Plan B. Well, got a hot air balloon. You don't want to do a hot air balloon and tie your car to the basket underneath it. That's easy.
Now, Dave, Michael, can you? I've been driving in France, right? And can you explain me this sort of mystery or phenomena? Sorry.
Seriously. I was saying to you, have you been driving around in France with that cap on?
With what cap on?
With that cap, you look like Andy Cap.
Oh, you're talking about my hat?
Yes.
Nah, at that point I didn't have the hat. Nah. So you're looking live on a Facebook.
All you need is a bunch of onions around your neck as well. Now you've got the French beret, you've got the Latvian cap, and I don't know what's the big thing that they eat over there in Latvia?
The apple.
Apple. Well, get a few apples around your neck, wear your cap, and you'll be laughing.
And they would think, what the heck? Where's the guy from? You know, he doesn't look like he's from.
Then you won't get a toll charge. It's if you press that button when you get to the toll and you tell them I haven't got any money, and the woman comes walking over to you, bigger than blokes. I mean, they're massive. These women, they're bigger than the barrier.
At least I can give her an apple.
Yeah, well, no, the thing is, you're worried about a barrier coming down and hitting the car. What they're more worried about not paying and the woman getting a grip of you and pulling her out of the car. Because they're massive. Some of these women on these toll things, they think, crap, where did they get them from? They're like prison warders. Seriously, come out, you say, I can't get the money in the thing. And they come walking out and they go, and you think, oh my God. They'll actually lift the barrier up for you manually. They're that big.
Now, I mean, that's just a lifestyle of that particular job, you know. It's like lorry drivers, right? Some of them can't get out from the bloody truck.
Well, you know, that's the thing.
Well, Michael is still fit.
I know. I was going to say Michael's got the body of a Spartacus.
He does.
Trust me.
That's why I never have the camera turned on, so you guys don't get jealous.
Well, there you go. What are you worried about?
Yes.
He's there, bronzed. He's on a sunbed doing the show, tanned up like you won't believe. Women, when this goes live on YouTube, the women on this drive time show will be like, hogging him like you won't believe, knocking on his front door.
What is that hot Michael, you know? Damn.
Yeah.
You love him.
These Christmas hampers turning up in January and February. Thinking, that's a bit late. Because I'm browsing them. Just for you, Michael. Just for you.
Dave, Michael, answer this phenomena on motorways in France. When I'm driving and the people keep... have you realized they're keeping that... I think when they're overtaking in the fast lane, they're keeping this bloody indicator light on and keep indicating. Or is it me? I find it so weird. I don't know why they're doing that.
They always do it, don't they? Have you seen it, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, my interpretation was I'm overtaking, get out of the running way. That was my interpretation. Yeah.
But you're a million miles away from that guy, you know, who's passing you. And he still keeps that indicator on.
No, but what they do is they overtake, and then when they pull in, they slow down, and they slow down right in front of you, and you're like, bloody Nora. So you have to then go round them again. It's like blooming doing the okey-dokey in a car, because you're forever going round and round. They're in front, and you're in front, and they're in front, you're in front. God forbid. And I think you just want to look in the car and see what you're up to half the time.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. You might have a Santa next to you.
Well, if they're overtaking you and you've got that cap on, they're probably thinking, what did I just see there? And then pulled over, waiting for you to overtake again and getting a second opinion.
Yeah, another peek. Oh, man.
Well, the dog is take the cap off.
Did we double the listeners count just now?
No. Two are listening that want to buy caps. I've had emails in saying, where do we get them caps from? You get a disabled sticker for your car as well with them, apparently. Mother and baby pants.
Yeah, if you want those caps, then just email us in at expactradio.france@gmail.com.
places at supermarkets where it says parent and baby parking. I pulled up with my old fella one day in the car. I'm 50 now. My old fella's 70 now. We pulled up outside Super U in one of these parking spaces. My dad went, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, parking here." And he said, "You can't park here. It's a mother and baby parking." I said, "Well, I'm your son and you're my father."
You're spot on. Yeah, you're spot on.
Oh, no age range on that was there? He looked at me as if I was daft. He said, "Are you for real?" I said, "No, just get out of the car now. Go on."
So
anyway, what were we talking about? But should we go to music, by the way? Well, we're having I want a breather. You want to have a whiskey or something?
yeah.
Have a crap. Mince pie. Have you got any mince pies left?
No, I don't. But I think I'm gonna pull some cracker now.
Oh, lovely. Right, be right back.
After this music. Did you left us?
Yeah.
So yeah, Michael, we're on a Facebook Live as well. So.
Okay, fine. So I'm careful what I say then.
So you can switch it on. At least you can see me. I don't look like a Santa Claus this morning, but I got my hat on, so I'm hiding my baldness.
Okay, we ought to get back to the discussion about buying categorised cars because I think it's very important.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get serious on a part 2.
Good.
No more girls and Santa Claus, and a Santa stories. While we waiting, obviously, for this tune to run out, probably choose again something. I don't know. Nothing comes in my mind, but Whitney Houston, crying something. But would you buy a cat insurance write-off?
No.
Yeah, I think I would not as well. Unless I would know some insurer made a mistake and it was just like a wing mirror or it's just a bumper, but otherwise I wouldn't. Unless somebody would tell me honestly, or whether I've seen in an auction, okay, this car has literally completely nothing to be worried about, like as they describing it as too expensive to repair.
I mean, if you're a repairer and you're going to repair it for yourself or the wife or something like that, and you're going to do it properly, fine. But not actually buying one that's already done repair. It's too risky. It's too risky. You don't know whether it's been repaired properly. Which is quite honestly, you can say that about cars that go off for ordinary accident damage. You're in the hands of repairers. You don't know whether they've repaired them properly.
Yes, yeah.
And believe me, I've seen plenty of evidence of it. They don't.
Oh, I do actually. I did yesterday one Cat S, and I did day before one Cat S. And most of the time, it's just the bodged up repairs. So much fillers used, and you can see they're not repaired properly. Cable ties used to like harness hanging in a cable tie. Yesterday I had 18 plate Fiat 500, and it was a Cat S, right? I mean, spray work's not been done properly. You want it to be done better.
Full of food or mince pies or turkey or beef, whatever you've had for your dinners yesterday. I mean, I'm sick to death of looking at a turkey butty now, but anyway.
I had something healthy, I didn't have anything heavy. So,
What, do you have a Ribena?
No, I actually had chicken biryani, for Christmas.
Chicken biryani?
To be honest, you guys probably been celebrating. I've been actually working on my social media. I've been actually working on my social media. I had so much things to do. I just couldn't get my head around that Christmas. I just didn't have time to do any of the Christmas thing. But I'm happy for you guys. You had mince pies, you know.
No. Tell you the truth, I just had a pot noodle. Now I don't know what Michael had, but
Pot noodle.
Go on, Michael. Tell the truth. What did you have yesterday?
Oh, caviar and salmon and this and that, you know.
Oh my God! Did you seriously? I can't be doing with that. Oh.
No, just a traditional chicken, I'm afraid. Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah, boring.
It just sounded like you've been invited to the Queen's house.
Oh, caviar. I don't get people that eat that much. Oh, God forbid.
Christmas. You must love caviar. Come on, you live in France. You know, they just keep feeding you the fish and a sea greatness.
No, I don't get that. I mean, I like fish when it doesn't taste of fish. You know what I mean?
So you kind of like looking at the fish, but eating chicken. That's what you meant just now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you go to a supermarket and you look at stuff and you think, I know what that tastes like. It's like chicken legs. Frogs' legs, they taste the chicken. Snails taste the garlic and butter. I'm just waiting for the day when, you know, oysters taste of something completely different. The thought of
We just have to wait for global warming, you know. That day will come.
If you could get a Guinness oyster, how good would that be? Or a chocolate oyster. Guinness and chocolate oysters, that'd be a big seller. There you go. I've just come up with a business idea there.
Yeah. All right, let's just crack on a bit into something more serious. Let's dive back into crash repairs and cat S's and cat N's. You know, Michael. Let's just clarify something while the Dave was playing a tune. We've been actually talking. Would you be buying a Cat S or any of basically the insurance write-off? Yes or no, and why?
Well, a repaired one, no, definitely not. The main reason is you don't know how the vehicle's been repaired.
But if you're gonna call Clabs out or one of the car exam inspectors and to have a look at it, and we will give you peace of mind, would you buy then?
No. Sorry.
Why?
Sorry. Well, for the basic reasons that nowadays the motor vehicle is so complex that its repair processes are complex. There's items that when you replace them, they've got to be MIG blasting, and they actually do MIG welding. So then you will get fractures forming around the joints. Aluminium chassis members, you must not repair those in any way at all. And we've known people that straighten them up. Again, that can suffer from sort of fatigue in 6 months, years time, leading to eventual failure. That's on structural repairs. It's quite honestly, it's a minefield. One of the items that makes it a category S is a seal panel, because it's got to protect you from side impact. People can let sections in, not weld it properly. They can pull them out, use filler. You just do not know. And what you got to remember is my life just deals with things that go wrong. I never see the good things. So you could have a vehicle repaired properly and safely. At least if it goes off to an insurance, if it's been subject to an insurance claim, it's got some form of sort of guarantee and some form of comeback. On a repaired write-off, no. And quite frankly, what you pay for a category N or category S is probably I talk about a repaired one, is probably you could go and buy it off of British car auctions for similar sort of money that hasn't got the history, because they don't. They you know, if they were selling them, I don't know, considerably under trade value, it might be financially
viable,
attractive, but I don't think it's even attractive, because what they seem to be going between trade values and retail values for these repaired write-offs.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me jump in quickly. I will tell you that I've been checking out the Cat S, which was Mercedes C-Class AMG, and there was a side damages from both sides and the rear damage. Obviously, I identified that with the paint thickness gauge, and I can see they've been welding certain things, and they might change the seals as well, because you can't check that on just a normal thing. You have to strip down the plastic seals off first, and then you can see it. And basically, I gave the guy the logical. He made a sensible decision, right, based on the simple findings. And I said, look, how much is the car, right, and how much is that particular car when it's not an insurance write-off, when it's just a normal vehicle used second-hand. The difference between Cat S and the same spec, which was AMG Sport trim on it, yeah, it was only $2,000, right? You're buying a car, I think the car was for 20,000, and the decent car, non-structural, non-N or whatever, it was like 23, 24, you know, or 22. So technically, he's buying something where we will have to take his girlfriend out, or maybe the kids out, and kind of car which has been completely resprayed. And it wasn't original color, it was some sort of metal gun grey, like similar like on these Audi A3s and Audi TTs. So the Merc that actually didn't have that in that color. It was obviously, it looked quite hot, yeah, I agree. But, and that was the main reason why the guy was wanted to buy this car. The way it looked, not because the way he actually had some issues on the vehicle. So, as Michael is right, you know, there's no great savings. You know, you rather add those $2,000, $3,000, buy a nice car, and enjoy it. And then when it will come to the resale value again, when the car gets older, we're talking about more like 17 plates, 18 plates, 16 plates. You'll get more value than if you would be buying like a Cat S or Cat N, because people looking at them quite funny, right, Michael?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. There's another drawback as well. When you come to insure it, and an insurer looks into the database and finds it's been a previous total loss settlement that's been made, they will insist on an engineer's report before they will insure that vehicle.
Is it, Michael? Yeah, I know this is a valid point, because we have actually customers phoning into the car examiner and asking these things, and every time you check the car changing owners, and different owner would try to get an insurance, the insurance company would ask that validation every time.
Right.
Oh, this is just a one-off after the accident, when you haven't been insured for some time, and somebody insures it again.
No, if you're the owner of the vehicle and you've had the report carried out, if you keep the vehicle for 4 or 5 years and you change to 3 or 4 insurers, that one report will last you for that period. If you sell the vehicles to someone else, they would have to go and have another report on it. And the reason why insurers want reports on these vehicles is because people like me have to do it. And then, in theory, if it goes breaks in half, you know, in 2 months after we've said it's okay, they can sue us. That's the gist of it. So really and truly, our contract is with the owner of the vehicle at that time. So when the vehicle's sold, that report can't be passed on, because it's as far as the insurance is concerned, because we don't have a contract with the new owner, so they can't come sue us when it goes wrong.
Okay, so that means
yeah. I mean, there's other, again, remembering what I do. There's other drawbacks that I've come across. If the vehicle's ever involved in an accident, and unfortunately these things do, and the damage occurs in the same place as where the original total loss settlement damage was. It's been poorly repaired.
Okay.
The owner can then be paying a considerable contribution for that towards the cost of repairs to have all the work rectified, or alternatively they will just get a cash settlement, a reduced amount, and have to be left to deal with the repairs themselves. So it's there's other ramifications.
But would that be said in the insurance terms and conditions when insurance actually insuring that particular Cat S vehicle? Would they ask for previous? Not the previous, but obviously they will have a record where that particular vehicle had that accident and what has been repaired, right? And obviously they taking the liability on themselves by agreeing to insure that particular vehicle. Would or would not?
They wouldn't necessarily know where the damage occurred.
But how they can insure the car if they don't know? But if they're taking, obviously, they say, for instance, see Michael's report. People who doesn't know that report costs about £200. But if they see in your report the car is safe, so that means they taking liability on. So that means they already agreeing, regardless if they know where the damage was or not. So that means they already insured it. They agreed, right?
No, but they've agreed to insure the vehicle on the basis that we said it's been repaired properly.
All right.
Or we don't actually say that. We just say it's safe. We consider it safe and fit for insurance purposes.
So basically, insurer can simply, if there is unfortunately another accident at the same place, they can start playing games. That's what you're saying.
Not playing games, but no, it's correct, Klaus, isn't it? If the cost of repairs have increased considerably because of the poor standard of the previous total loss repairs, that the insurer is not liable for it. They're only liable for the cost of repairs caused in that accident that they are actually dealing with.
All right, so I like that. That's a great statement. That means if it had the let's just clarify again. So if somebody bought a car and it has the damage in the same place, right? The insurer might turn out and say they're not gonna repair that previous damage. That's what you're saying.
If the damage has been poorly repaired and increases repair cost considerably, they will ask the owner to pay the difference. If the repairer is saying we do not want to get involved in this because of the previous repairs, they will just deal with it on a cash basis of reduced repair costs.
Okay, but say for instance, obviously you inspected this vehicle and said it's safe, and you're not there to determine whether the vehicle has been poorly repaired or not. Is that right, or because
I think you touched on the earlier when you talked about filler. No, we cannot tell whether it's been poorly repaired. We won't be able to take off trims and check whether a chassis member's been correctly fitted. We'll have no idea of whether an aluminium chassis member has been straightened when it should have been replaced.
That's really hard to tell. You have to then.
I know. Again.
You have to dismantle the car. I mean.
Well, yeah. It doesn't. We can only go on what we see at the time of the inspection, the information that's given. I mean, luckily, we don't do. I can't think of the last time I did a structure repair car, and after having this conversation with you, I probably won't look at I won't deal with a structurally repaired car in future. I think I think this discussion has opened up my mind to what sort of minefield I could be slipping into. So
yeah, so I'm just thinking there's something is boiling in my head now, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is, normally the sort of thing that we do is normally it's an owner. They've had the vehicle for years. It can be safely repaired with second-hand parts, bumpers, wings, things like that, bonnets. So the owner retains it. We've got this. We know we've got photographs of the damage before. We know what's been done. We can see what's been done. The second-hand items are fitted, etc., like that. So I think we're very happy to go out and do that sort of thing. For someone that's actually bought a repaired category S vehicle and wants us to do, I think the answer is no. We wouldn't want to get involved.
All right, because you can't have the evidence what has been done previously, right?
Yeah, we need to be we need to be happy. We need to be happy on what's gone on.
Yeah, I know. I deal with this as well. When I ask these people, when I check Cat S, right? Obviously, we don't check what Michael's independent vehicle says. So we helping people to make a great to buy a great car, right? So that means there's no shady repairs done, nothing gonna fall off. So that's what our job is. So when we going out and when we're looking at this, then what we normally see is when you ask the sellers what has been damaged, can we see the pictures? They normally say, oh, we can't remember, we don't really kind of know. They just know, they just simply not releasing the information because they know the person will identify clearly what it is. But what they forgetting, obviously, when I use paint thickness gauge, I can clearly see what's been done. Once they said to me, oh, there was only a wing damage, and I found out that, I mean, one side of the car has been resprayed, loads of fillers used, and then the left side quarter panel and a rear left door has been resprayed and a lot of fillers used. So that means they just simply not saying the truth, right? So they want to make the car look nicer and softer, so you can have so you buy the vehicle based on there was just a wing. Like yesterday I had Fiat 500. It was Cat S. They sent me the picture. There was a front wing damage and they put new headlight in. At the end of the day was only a few parts which haven't been resprayed. Was on the Fiat 500 there's a glass roof, so there's just a slight panel at the back which is metal. So there was the rear lid, that part of the roof, and right front wing, yeah. But they said it's only the front wing has been repaired, right? And there was obviously in some areas there was quite a bit of fillers used, and you can see the paint job is not being done right. It's like 1,000 microns of fillers. Part of on one side of the bonnet was 1,000 microns of fillers. You know, I mean, so when you actually bump into somebody, you know, they're highly likely the filler would crack. You know, you know. So that's the reality when you're getting involved yourself in a Cat S. Very rarely I've seen something repaired really good when they're actually replacing panels or say for instance putting your door on and when everything is as it's supposed to be between up to 200 microns, which I would classify as a good repair, right? 250 I would say, yeah, would be a good repair. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I think that realistically the rule should be if it's been subject to a previous total loss settlement and the car's a lot of money, steer clear of it. Go and look at an auction house or something like that. If it's a £600 banger, yeah, it's probably okay because no one would have got involved in anything structural on that or theoretically. But I think the rule of thumb is don't buy a repaired vehicle.
Yeah, I agree, and unless there's that 1% mark where you know these people doing and they literally doing repairs up to manufacturer's standard, right? That is if you know, but most of the people they would not do it simply because it's expensive to repair the vehicle the way a manufacturer does it. You know, when they're replacing cutting quarter panels, as Malcolm mentioned, these aluminium panels where you can't weld them. You have to use rivets and so on and so on. To repair the vehicle up to the manufacturer's specifications, it costs a lot of money. To get the vehicle sprayed to the proper standard will cost a lot of money, because you will need a person who is highly qualified and can actually spray the vehicle, prep the vehicle the way it's supposed to be, and not many people has even the patience, willingness. The only thing the trade wants, the dodgy sellers, they want a quick in, quick out, and make it softer for the buyer to buy.
Run out of time, boys.
Yeah, it's always Boxing Day's run out.
Yeah.
You cut a shot.
Right, well, we can carry on talking about this on Tuesday. So if anyone's got any questions, they can email into expatradio.fr@gmail.com. Put them for Clams and for Michael. If you've got any queries about any vehicle that you're looking at the moment and you're thinking it looks a bit iffy, what do we need to do?
Yeah, that would be great, listeners, because it's important. Your safety is our safety, right? So we don't want you to get something where you shouldn't be buying, you know. It's rather ask for help, and you got opportunity to ask. So we'll leave it as that. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Dave, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you have any listeners? Because we never seem to get any emails coming in.
I love the question.
Jory, from 11 till 12, no.
Perhaps we
91,000 turn off, and then they come back on again at 12 o'clock.
That's what I was just about to say. We probably bore them to tears. Okay.
Oh, bless them. They're all blooded today. They're all lying on the carpet floor in the lounge somewhere on a rug in front of the fire going, oh, never again. Oh. Smashed on the sherry from yesterday.
Yeah.
But no worries. So we'll speak to you Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Have a great weekend. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you Tuesday.
Boys.
And join Clavs back on Thursday as well.